The Kitchen King's Challenge. Chapter 1. The King. Mister, I told you before, and I'm telling you again, the answer is no, the sassy lady with the luscious red lips said. Rex smiled. He should be frowning, but he wasn't. Negotiation was his strong suit, and he was in his element. Appreciating the curvy little lady in front of him made the job a bonus. Rarely do ladies catch his eyes, but this little dragon, well, let's say he'll play with fire. He was called king because of all the kitchens he ruled. Today, he came to the small bakery in Ongpin Street in Chinatown. Although the street was narrow, it was busy with the usual Chinatown buzz. The smell of confectionery was like an arrow to the target. Rex seized the small dragon bakery and judged how to remodel it and turn it into a bakery chain. Then he'd franchise it. He's had four now, not four restaurants, four restaurant chains. His first restaurant he opened with his college buddy. It was more of a glorified beer house, but the shrimp scampi got everyone coming back for more. He opened a formal one called Scampylicious. Today it had 6 branches. He refused to franchise that one. His second chain, Bubble Box, a student-friendly coffee and milk tea haven. His first 4 branches opened in 1 year. The next year, he franchised it. Presently, it had 24 franchise holders plus his own 4 branches. The third restaurant he opened was Asian Sariwa. It was a collaboration between 4 chefs to create one super Asian restaurant chain. Asian Sariwa was franchised 40 restaurants in 5 countries. So far, it was the most successful. His fourth was an acquisition. Chicken Basilica was a hodgepodge of restaurant concepts that the original owner called Chicken House with a church theme. It had Philippine favorites as well as Chinese and Thai food. When Rex bought it, it only had 2 restaurants remaining and they were on the verge of bankruptcy. He bought it cheap, took over and revamped everything. The new restaurant was now called Ode to Chicken. It had a complete revamp of the concept. He even tweaked the chicken recipes himself. It franchised to 3 countries with 25 restaurants. 7 years into the business, he was looking for a new challenge. He wanted to acquire something new, turn it into a franchise. For a time, Rex became an angel investor, helping startups gain a footing into the business world. He invested in a new app called Collageogram. It was an app people would create and post collages of their day. It was in this app that he spotted a trending collage about this little dragon bakery. Many loyal customers were posting about it. He had to find out all about this. One of his many executive assistants went to buy a bag of the famous honey hopia from the said bakery. It was divine. Food had never excited him as much as it did now. He knew he had to have it. Going into business, Rex was thorough. He researched the place himself. He knew what he wanted, and he wanted the bakery. It had lots of potential, but it never grew more than a mom-and-pop bakery. The 5th generation ran it, yet the current head baker still hasn't innovated. Emily Long noticed him the moment he walked into the bakery and knew who he was. He had emailed her countless times. He even asked his EA or executive assistants to badger her into selling her little bakery. She said no. But he knew she knew him because of the tabloids and the business magazines. People either looked up to him or thought he was too young to navigate the business world. Some even accused him of being a puppet for his parents, that were his millionaire parents were the ones who actually ran the show. Rex was neither. He might have been born with a silver spoon in his mouth, but he believed in the value of hard work. Add creativity in the mix, and it was a recipe for success. He and his friends knew that he earned his stripes. He liked the feisty baker. They've exchanged many emails, but this was their first time to meet each other in person. He knew what she looked like. Rex saw her Instagram, Collageogram, and any post that tagged the bakery. She knew his reputation. How could she not? His face was plastered all over the magazines. Many articles and online features had him. Anything about good food had his face. Presidents, prime ministers, royalties, they consulted him. They even ate at his table. The tired-looking bakery needed work on its facade. It looked ancient. Then again, he thought, it might be the charm that brought people to this establishment. She did most of the baking, although she had 4 other bakers in the kitchen. It was said that she held the secret of 5 generations of Long, who came to the Philippines to set up the bakery. I'm raising the offer, Miss Long. I'm willing to offer you 25 million for the space of the bakery and the recipe to the honey hopia, he countered. Prices of real estate in Chinatown were skyrocketing, but 25 should be a great deal for the tiny space. Mister, this is my family's legacy. You cannot buy it. She was unyielding. Fire was in her eyes. Rex smiled his killer smile, one that lets him get away with anything. How about I buy you lunch? When her mood darkened, he added, Coffee? We can talk about it over dinner. She mentally counted to 3, what her patience allowed her. I'm not going out with you. 28 million. Rex waved his checkbook. Out. The customers buying were looking at the strange exchange. Who was the man buying the bakery? The cute little baker was angry, already turning red. Name your price, he dared her. This seemed to irritate Emily more than before. She was clutching a receipt pad, nearly crushing it under her rage. A big burly man in apron, speckled in flour, came out. He towered over everything. Out, or Bibi will take you out. Bibi, the big man with a rolling pin, was ready to bash it on Rex's head. The man was as large as an ox, but as white as the paus he sold. There's no question he can turn Rex into a hopya batter. He took that as his cue to leave. He didn't fancy being manhandled in the middle of Chinatown. The man could throw him into a pile of horse manure after being battered into a pulp. Rex left, but he knew he would be back. The intriguing Miss Long was a beauty. She was feisty in her emails as she was feisty and lovely in person. Also, Rex wanted a challenge. Emily Long was definitely a challenge, and Rex wasn't named Rex for anything. He was just a king, but he was a predator when it came to business. Did you guys enjoy that? I hope you did. If you want to read more, you may check out my Amazon store. I have the link somewhere here on the screen, and I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you, and follow for more.